you guys, welcome back to my channel. Thank you for watching. So today I'm going to try to not have like a super long intro. I can tend to get a little bit chatty. But obviously, I mean, the title kind of explains the video. I'm just going to be showing you my everyday, kind of just face routine. So powder, foundation, everything, bronzer, all of that. And obviously I'm kind of dealing with some acne, so these are some of the products that I like to use, you know, while I'm dealing with acne and that. So we will just go ahead and jump right in. So for a primer, I really like the this e.l.f. Poreless Face Primer, but I'm going to be honest, a lot of days I don't even wear a primer. Sometimes, I don't know, I just like don't feel like being bothered with it, but I'm just going to do only one pump of this primer. And you want to really be careful to not overdo your primer, because I've found, and I can definitely be heavy-handed, I know. So it's like when I, sometimes when I am heavy-handed, it can like make the foundation get kind of oily a little bit prematurely and things like that, kind of start breaking up early. Okay, so that kind of helps just like smooth things over, blur things out a little bit. For foundation, I've been using honestly a lot of different ones lately, and I love to mix foundations. I've been mixing them like crazy, kind of for color reasons, for wear, for coverage, just for all kinds of reasons. But ones that I have been liking is, I've been liking the Kat Von D, so a lot of times like I'll mix this with my CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous. I can mix those two. Or I love the e.l.f. It's like the thing's completely rubbed off on this. I need to pick up another one because it's basically gone. But the e.l.f. Acne Fighting Foundation, I really like that one. And I've been liking my MAC Studio Fix Fluid. And then another thing that I have been liking to do is I mix, because I did a review on the Milani Conceal and Perfect Foundation. It was a little bit oily, but when I mix it with this, I do like that a lot. I think today though, I think I'm going to mix my Kat Von D and then my CoverGirl Outlast Stay Fabulous. And this has a pump, but it's like literally, it's gone, and so nothing comes out of the pump anymore. So I'm just like scraping what's left out of the bottle right now. So this is the CoverGirl one. So I'm going to do just this one first. And I prefer to use a sponge. Make sure to go back by your ears. Okay, so things are like mostly covered, but I still want to go in and do a little bit of a second layer because there still is like some redness and blemishes kind of peeking through, as you can see. So this one I will do with the Kat Von D foundation. And I love layering up foundations. It is unbelievable, like the amount of coverage that you'll get if you do like a true first layer and then wait just a second and then do a second layer, instead of like instead of trying to combine, you know, 50 layers into one and just like doing a ton of foundation, which I know it looks like I always do a lot of foundation, and I'm sure I do, but like actually layering it out and doing a couple layers, you will get a ton of good coverage. And like my forehead doesn't really need coverage, so I'm not really like going up, you know, on for a second layer up there. Just putting the second layer where I need it. And that's another tip I have, like if you have a cheaper foundation that you like, kind of use that for, you know, your first layer. Let that kind of do the grunt work, like, you know, cover most of your stuff. And then if you have like a more expensive foundation, but you like the coverage or whatever, or the finish of it, then just do a little bit of that on top, and you won't have to use nearly as much of it. It'll last you a lot longer. Just like let that be your saving grace, you know, kind of swoop in the end, take the good credit. Like that's a really good tip. You know, use a cheaper foundation to do like one first layer, and then two, foundations stick really well to other foundations for the most part. And so it's like if you kind of just get on a layer of foundation, and like, and you know, just kind of what I then go back in with like your favorite nice Kat Von D or whatever. You won't have to use as much, but you can save a little bit of money that way, and it'll look like just as good. And that's another reason I like to mix them. You know, and one other tip I'll say with this is, you know, like if you have an oily T-zone and you just need your like heavy duty foundation in your T-zone, then just use it in your T-zone and use like your cheaper stuff like on your cheeks or whatever. And that's just like a tip to save a little bit of money. And then, just because I'm going to be a little bit extra today, I'm going to go in with my NYX Full Coverage Concealer. And I just want to, there's just this little blemish that's still trying to just come through. So I'm just going to use my finger and just really concentrate that just right, exactly pinpointed where I need it. And I don't know what it is about like using your middle finger to like get rid of your blemishes, but It's basically like you're giving the bird to your blemishes. Okay, so for highlighting under my eyes, I really don't know if I like this. I'm actually just trying this one out today. This is the Revlon Photo Ready Instafix. I think this is like a foundation stick, but I need to use it. This is in the color 120 Vanilla. So I guess we'll see if I like it. I've just like had it for a while, and it's like I need to use it before it is gonna go bad or something. And it's like I'm not usually ever this color. My skin isn't. And so the only place I really would be able to use it is for like highlighting. So I'm just going to go ahead and try it. That went on really smooth and nice. Right now I'm really loving that on my under eye. That looks so pretty. That's another little tip. If you guys have, like, shop the clearance sections, because I love the clearance sections. And like hardly ever you'll actually find something in your color, but like if you find foundations that are way too light, use them as concealers, and then it's like you have a gigantic bottle of a concealer. You know, if it's a light foundation, or is it a huge bottle of concealer? I don't know. Or say, you know, if it's a way too dark, then get it and you can use it to like cream contour. Or my mom's favorite thing, she gets like dark foundations on clearance when she sees them, and we'll use them as like, you know, self tanner and stuff like that during the summer. And so that's a really good tip too. I really like that under my eyes. I'm going to highlight down the bridge of my nose as well. Just kind of highlight the flattering highlight areas of my face. And right before you set your under eye area, make sure that there's not any creases. So look, kind of tilt your head like this. Because if you just go straight in, it'll kind of set those creases. I'm actually going to set using my Coty Airspun Loose Face Powder in the color Naturally Neutral. And don't be scared to put a lot of powder on under there. I'm also just kind of putting it on those other light areas. Okay, so this is something that I have talked about a billion times with my acne videos, is powder is going to be what makes seriously the biggest difference in your coverage. Because right now things are really, you know, they're covered and they're camouflaged. But if I were to just go in with like a fluffy brush, just like fluff on a bunch of powder, you would lose so much of your coverage, which is such a bummer. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go in with this Flower Beauty Loose Powder. This one is in the color L01, but I'm just going to get some on that little puff. And you're going to go directly onto the blemishes that you're wanting to cover. So, and just really like pack that on. I mean, you're going to look like you have big splotches of powder on your face, but don't you worry, girl. Which honestly, this like whole entire lower portion of my face, I need a little extra work on. And also, like, I have a little wrinkle smile line right there that sometimes foundation gets in and likes to sit in. So I like to go like this and like pack it right inside there. Okay, so once you've kind of got those blemishes taken care of, now is when you can go in with a fluffy brush and just a little bit of your powder. And just like fluff off all the extra, and this will set everything. And I don't know about you guys, but I do not like the feeling of like a sticky foundation-y face. I like a dry, like skin feeling face. Like I like powder. I mean, I go in with a lot of powder. I want everything to be set. Also, this will make sure nothing moves or budges. And it's okay if you're a little bit powdery, because we will take care of that like with a setting spray at the end. Okay, so that's kind of my base. So then from here, I'd like to go in and do bronzer, contour, blush, all that. Which I think lately I've been using my this Amazon kit that I got. I used to use it a lot and then I kind of stopped for a while. Now I'm using it again. But I'm going to use that to bronze and this to contour. So the bronzer, I'm just taking on kind of an angled brush. Dusting it all around my cheeks. And when I'm dealing with acne, I don't like any sort of shimmer in my bronzers, or I like to like really strategically add shimmer. And so I like pretty much all my products to be really matte when I'm dealing with acne. Now I'm going to go in with my NARS Ita brush and then that darker contour shade. Just concentrate that kind of back by my ears. Create a pretend little line that's not really there. I need to add a little chapstick. Okay. Okay, and then I'm going to contour my nose. That's something I just can't not do anymore. And for that, as always, I use my Wet n Wild contour palette, and I use this, I love that contour shade for my nose. And I switched to this little Victoria's Secret like travel eyeshadow brush. I really have been liking this. For blush today, I'm going to use this Mary Kay blush in the color Orchid. It looks like this. Again, it's just a nice like matte blush. Well, actually, maybe it has a few little sparkles, but it sure doesn't seem like much, so I'm still going to go ahead and use it. And I like just the teeniest bit of blush. Okay, so then to highlight my face, I have been really loving this one by Sephora. I showed this on my, I think it was my Instagram. This, what is this even called? This is the Sephora Luminizing Palette, and the colors are so pretty. I really love it. And usually I like to just use my finger for highlight, so I think I'm going to go on with a little bit of this, and then I'm going to go in with a little bit of this on top. Look how pretty that highlight is. That's that top middle one right here. I love that. And I'm putting this just really close to my eye. I don't want to bring this like down to where my texture on my cheeks is or anything. I just want a tiniest like healthy glow to my skin. Isn't that nice? I love this palette. It's so pretty. And then actually, you know, I thought I was going to put the other one on top, but I'm going to leave that alone, but I am going to put some of it on my nose. I love to put a little bit of that lighter highlight on my nose. So I'm going to use this one. For this, I like to use a brush. This is just a paintbrush that I got like at a craft store. I'm just going to hit the tip of my nose and also right between my eyes. Okay, and I am highlighted to as much as I like to be. Okay, so I'm going to go ahead and finish up the rest of like my eyes and stuff, and I will be right back. Okay, so I'm back with the rest of my makeup on. This is the final result. I love that I just added a little bit of shimmer just right where I wanted it. But other than that, like my acne is really well covered right now. I'm really, you know, I'm comfortable, I'm confident. I don't feel like like when I go out, people are just staring at my acne. So this is a routine and some tips and tricks on, well, I guess a couple ways to save money and also how to kind of deal with and cover acne. And also this is a really long wearing routine. So this is kind of one of my go-to routine. This isn't like a super everyday routine. I mean, this is like you want to get ready. I mean, obviously it looks like I have makeup on. I have makeup on. So it's like this isn't, you know, a quick one or whatever, but this is like if you're trying to cover up your acne, here's some ways to deal with that. Okay, so that's all I have for this video. Thank you guys so much for watching. I will catch you in my next one. Bye.